There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, I'm Garrett Gunn. You might know me from Good Boy, Warhorns, Franklin and Gus, and you're watching The Experience.
Hi, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
There's already a little bit of an oops.
It's been a very busy day, and we're trying our best. The show still must go on, so we're still here.
Not only that, but the
We're
show
still
says
bringing
Comic Collectables with Rex. The only person who is not here, what is his name in the credits?
I don't know. Great
Because
question.
the only person who knows how to work that the graphic machine is Kyle. So
Everything anybody doesn't like about this show, all Nick's fault.
it's all Nick's fault, everybody. Blame Nick.
Yeah, Nick isn't the most up to date on tech. He asked to switch Viewmaster. We were doing the show on, and we knew we were in trouble almost immediately.
Super 8 and Viewmaster.
Super 8. Do we have who's supposed to be here tonight? Robbie?
Is Robbie here? Where does he have a link?
I don't see him yet, so
He pops up.
I'm not sure how he normally gets the link. Maybe Rex sends it to him, so maybe I'll look into that real quick.
Okay.
Please,
Sure.
yes, thank you.
We'll just sit here and wait quietly. No, I'm just kidding. Hi to everybody. I can't see everybody who's in the chat, but I wanted to say hi. I think I see Ronald in here.
Yeah, Ronald's here, Stevie B's here, Dave's here,
Hey guys, what's going on?
Adrian's
Happy
here,
Monday.
Pop Culture Philosopher's here. Robbie. Oh my gosh, never got a link. Yeah, we got. Okay, you're sending it. Robbie, we're so sorry. We had a big show over the weekend, and
Nick's screwing up.
stuff happened.
And Nick's screwing everything up.
And yeah, if you heard of Nick screwing everything up.
The good news, that means everything is at 50% off. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, if only.
This is going to be Dollar General night.
Yeah, let's get Robbie on here first before we jump into anything super fast.
We do have some pretty cool stuff tonight.
Oh, always. When don't we have cool stuff?
We've got remarks, of course. We've got slabs, of course. We've got some sort of collectibles and stuff. We've got some books that are near and dear to my heart. We actually have a book that's signed by someone who's walking past the camera right now, but won't appear on the air.
Mariano.
Is that not you,
I
sir?
was going to recolor that on the air on Wednesday. Not today, but Wednesday.
Oh.
So yeah,
find another copy.
That would be cool.
Yeah, guys, we're going to try to have Mariano on here to color the Deadpool.
Vanna White, your book.
That's I think he said Vanna White, your book. Yeah, I mean,
It's going to be a crazy night tonight, guys.
We
Buckle
talked
up.
about this. We're going to be having, some new and different stuff. We're going to try to have
Robbie.
Robbie,
Oh my
what's up,
goodness.
bud?
Again, I'm so sorry you didn't get a link. I'm so sorry.
Y'all forgot about me. That's okay. I don't take that personally. Station.
I forgot about this too, dude. I rolled in here like 10 minutes ago, like, oh, is there a show?
Rex
All
is
sleepy-eyed.
a little under the weather today, so that's why I'm here. So and again, we've had such a busy weekend. We've been putting.
Yeah, y'all did the Bueller auction and everything, right?
No one wants to say that on the air.
Go with the cover story.
Go with the cover story.
I'm just happy to be here, everybody.
Comic, and it'll be back on Wednesday with me coloring it on air.
Oh, full
Sweet.
Deadpool? Okay.
Oh, we're going to talk about that in just 1 minute. But go ahead.
Yes. But real quick, Robbie, how are you? How was your weekend?
I had a good weekend. My football team won, and I got a lot of work done and some rest and relaxation. Read some comics, watched some movies. Had a good weekend.
What'd you watch?
Oh, man, I've been watching Christmas movies. So I watched Muppet Christmas Carol for the first time because we had to do a show about it. Loved that movie.
Awesome.
Watched the remake from 2006 of Black Christmas. Didn't really like that one. And this week is Scrooged. So that's one of my personal favorites. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife.
What'd you think of that? Like,
It was okay.
okay, that's
It was
understandable.
okay. I thought it was okay. It's kind of like the Force Awakens of Ghostbusters, meaning that they just kind of copied the same plot from the first one and just did it in Oklahoma. Like it's the same villains and it's the same, it's the exact same setup. So
I love Ghostbusters. Let me say this first and foremost. And people, I've gotten bashed for years and years and years in different message boards and chat rooms for this. You can only do Ghostbusters
Wait, Blues Clues Christmas? Who watched that?
Blues. No, that's not me. I've got the feeling that you can only do Ghostbusters once. You can't. There's no sequel. It's like a one-shot story, and it's a great story, but you there's no way to get around the fact that if you want to make it funny, which they have to, it has to be more on the lighthearted side. You've got to kind of have a group of people together so there's this interesting dynamic. There's no way. I don't care if it's the sequel to Ghostbusters with the original cast was not that great, to be perfectly honest. You know, nobody wants to say that because everybody loves Bill Murray.
So I like Ghostbusters too, but I know I'm in the minority there.
The best part of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers, is Arnie Hudson, I think.
He was the best. Yeah, he was really good. I like the setup for what could possibly come out of it.
I didn't want to do too many spoilers, but yeah, I like with the way they sort of, you know. And yes, everybody loves Paul Rudd. You know, we get it. Everybody loves the guy's been basically Paul Rudd was born and grew up 20 minutes from here. He's like a South Jersey guy. We love him to death. I don't want to say he's always the same character, but he reminds me very much of what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Chris Pratt. You're sort of getting
a lot of him.
No, but I mean, you're getting him. It doesn't matter if he's wrangling dinosaurs or if he's in Lego or if he's Star-Lord. It's his personality. And they just find roles for him to play. And that's a big-time Hollywood winner. I mean, let's be honest. Arnold Schwarzenegger made $500 million being Arnold in a ton of different movies. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I don't know if you can keep redoing Ghostbusters.
That's the difference between a movie star and a good actor. A movie star always plays themselves. Like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You've never seen him not play Tom Cruise except for in Tropic Thunder, which was awesome.
Well, he talked about, he thinks one of the reasons that Vanilla Sky is universally reviled is because he felt he was playing a character instead of being himself. And I'm like, dude, there's about 50 reasons why that movie is terrible. I don't know if that's one of them.
See, I like that movie. Man, John, I don't think we have the same kind of cinematic taste, probably.
I prefer my movies animated. No. No, you know what? I've gotten to the point where there was a period of time when I was younger that I loved like classic cinema and all that stuff. But there's only so many times, and I know people will say, "Oh no, there's not." But there's only so many times that you can watch the Maltese Falcon and be wowed. You know what I mean? I've seen it.
Interesting.
I've you know what I mean? After a while, and I'll still watch it if I come across it. But for me to make an effort to get excited about a new movie, it has to have stuff that I like. And by the time we got to 2010, 2012, it was all superhero stuff. They'd done a ton of Star Wars and Star Trek and horror movies. And, I've seen zombie apocalypses. Plus I'm old. There's another thing, too. Some of our people, I'm old. So I've seen this stuff over and over and over again. So I was super excited when the superhero movies came because at least it was something new.
I think you've just been burned by Green Hornet movies. That's what I think.
The Green Hornet movie, I know everyone asks my opinion on this. Not to take up the show, but I'll just say it was certainly a movie. That's about the one. That's not how I would have cast that movie. That's not how I would have done that movie. And before people will say, I bet you wouldn't say that to Kevin Smith, you would be mistaken. I actually did say something very similar to Kevin Smith at a comedy club when he was recording Batman and Fat Man a few years ago in San Diego. He was doing Q&A before they went live. And he said, it was a small, intimate group, maybe 100 people at most. He said, if anybody has questions, just stand up and shout them out. And I looked right at him and said, Green Hornet, why? And everybody just started to laugh. And Kevin even said, I'm guessing you're like a lifelong Green Hornet fan. I'm like, yes, I am. And Kevin just smiled and said, sorry, and then moved on to the next question. So I feel like we're good there. I mean, especially, you know, once I've bought my movie ticket and I've bought all the Dynamite comics, you know, what's he going to say other than I'm sorry?
Yeah, right.
Why? Let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe the first thing we'll do, just to throw it out there, because, you know, we're going to have a few best offer books and stuff like that. We always do. But just to kind of knock it out of the way, the Dynamite Reader's Pack. This thing is... Excellent start. This thing is an excellent value. Literally, it's, what is it, $5?
Yeah.
$5 for like 10 books or whatever. It's 10 random books. It's great for holiday gifts. It's great for... I'm one of those people that have what I always call like a truck book, right? I never know when I'm going to get stuck in my truck. Here in New Jersey, traffic is bad. You have no idea when you're going to grind to a halt. So I've always in my life had comics or something in my truck to read. For $5, this is a great thing to put in that seat pocket and just let sit there if you don't get a chance to read it right away. If you do, you'll see why I haven't shut up about Dynamite Comics online for 14 or 15 years, whatever it's been. And, you know, you can, you know, hopefully maybe something resonates with you and you shoot over to your local comic book shop. Those guys always need your support, and pick up some of the back issues. And if not, you know, the Experience has tons of retailers that, you know, you can take advantage of. Click here or there, find the books. Let's see.
I was going to say, do you want us to just kick it off with?
Oh, you know, let's. We were going to do Deadpool #1, Varian edition. I guess this is remarked by our own. Did he write this or did he draw this? Signed and remarked by Mariano Nicieza. We're going to pull this tonight. This was going to be here. We are going to have Mariano here on Wednesday that colors this for us.
He's going to color it live.
He's going to color it live on the Wednesday show.
Nice.
So this tonight is a scratch, but only for a couple days. And then we will be back on Wednesday. Hopefully, Rex overcomes his...
Amy said she's never doing another show again unless the stuff's prepared right. She said she cannot deal with my unprofessionalism.
So that means this is a last show that Amy will do.
I mean, she was a little bit more polite about it.
Y'all see what I deal with?
You see what I deal with. There'll be like a Kickstarter for Amy. Go fund me. I don't want to come here anymore.
Let's move on.
Probably pick a book, man. Let's.
You want me to pick a book? Let's do that.
Pick a book, start us off. And then people in the chats too, man. If there's something you want us to get to and see, put it up there. I will not see what you say, but Amy will because she has young eyes. So.
Well, I'm a big horror fan, obviously. So let's do that Frankenstein Thor cover. I really like that.
I love this cover, man. This might be, you know, this very much might be my favorite Thor cover that I could see. This one's signed by Donny Cates.
Yeah, signed by Donny Cates. Usually $49.99. Tonight it's gonna be $39.99.
$39.99. There's only 150 copies of this that he signed. This one is number 96. And yeah, it's very hard. This is a really, really cool cover. Like I said, this is one of these things where during the holidays, the Halloween holidays, I just blew through some of the Hammer Studios stuff. And this very much has that sort of, you know, mid 20th century horror vibe to it. It's very, very cool. The Frankenstein Thor.
Yeah. And it sucks that it was just a cover because I would actually read that book. Like a Frankenstein Thor brought back to life by the very lightning he commands. That's really a cool.
I mean, I love the. You know what? I would absolutely love to see a sort of Universal horror characters or Hammer Studios Marvel fusion, some kind of weird crossover. I'd be super happy with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be cool.
There's a whole season of What If right there.
There's a whole season of What If right there. You guys will see. and if people on social media know what I'm talking about, people will start these threads, right? Someone will Photoshop like Vincent Price's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And I saw one where Peter Cushing was Photoshopped, even though he played Dr. Frankenstein in the 50s movies, somebody Photoshopped him into the black and white movie.
Cool.
And I got to tell you, he looked about as good as it gets. I would love to see like a Dr. Frankenstein drawn as him set like in that black and white 1930s era. You know what? Speaking of Thor,
we have another
Thor book, and it seems like there's no reason. This is Thor the Worthy #1.
Signed by Walter Simonson.
Silver Signature Series. Walt Simonson's work on this is absolutely legendary, this character.
Usually $49.99. Tonight we're making it $33.70 for number 337 when Walter started.
337. Okay, Nick is almost getting like real like Dan Brown, like the Da Vinci Code with this now. I got to figure out what the prices are. He only signed 83, and this is number. If I'm reading this correct, this is number 14. This is a nice low number.
You need me to double check for you? Yeah, 14.
Is that 14? Yeah. That's
nice.
Well,
Walt Simonson, super attached to Thor. You know, you can't read a Thor comic that doesn't have his and Kirby's influence, and he's one of those legendary creators as well.
There's like 4 or 5 people that have left fingerprints on Thor in the last, we'll say, 50-ish years, maybe. And it's always for the better. I know that there's everybody that loves a character is going to have creators that don't connect with them. I don't care who the character is, who the publisher is. Thor, like Daredevil, has been blessed with like a string of like top shelf creators going back decades. They've been, it's been super fortunate that someone jumps in and says, "Hey, I want to take a swing at Thor." You know what I mean? I'm kind of interested to see how we've kind of watched how Thor's been influenced a little bit by the movies the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see when, I guess the next phase, Marvel's MCU phase, will kind of move past Thor, I guess. Plus the actor has said, he doesn't, he's like, I'm getting older. I don't know how long.
He doesn't look that old.
Chris Hemsworth is actually.
Hemsworth said he was ride or die with Thor.
Yeah. Chris wants to keep doing Thor. Is the latest I've heard.
I
He's the only Chris that still wants to do it.
Hey, you know what? I really enjoy that guy. I don't know if I've seen that guy in anything I didn't like. Like, I came home one day and they were watching some movie where he was like a hacker spy or something. So I sat down and watched it. And I'm like, okay, it's Thor. So I watched. And it was entertaining. I mean, it's not what I would call, like award-winning cinema, but it was an entertaining movie. The guy sort of he was really good in a movie that was universally panned, Men in Black International. He was very entertaining in that movie, and that movie was not good. But he at least made it worth sitting through the 2 hours to watch.
Dave has a special request.
Sure.
How about we break open the Mega Pack? Tonight's Mega Pack.
Absolutely. I love the Mega Pack. This is like the...
We have
like the Mirror Universe.
The Batman and Joker set tonight.
This is like the Mirror Universe version of the Reader's Pack. The Reader's Pack is $5 for a ton of books. These are usually $99.
The whole set is $99. Like, while they're really worth with all the different items we have in there, they're usually like this one in particular is like put it all together, maybe worth $260.
Yeah,
but we make it $99.
These are tremendous value.
Yeah, this pack.
Batman Detective Comics 1000 9.8 CGC slab.
9.8.
I'll tell you
we
right.
got a Batman number 48 signed by Tom King. We have a Joker 80th anniversary.
This
remarked by Ken
Hazer,
series. Our man Ken Hazer.
This Joker remark is so cool, and I am not like the biggest Joker fan, but holy cow!
Thankfully, we have a spare one tonight. If that one goes in the set, if anyone else wants another Joker,
we talked about this before. Ken does different takes on characters, And you can see here we've got 2 Joker remarks tonight. Ken Hazer remarks of the Joker tonight. They are distinctly different, but they're all each very much on point.
The other one in the set is Batman and the Signal, #1, signed by Scott Snyder.
To just run these through real quick, Batman and the Signal, 140 copies. This is number 14. Nice low numbers we found. This one is 25 copies signed by Tom King. This one's number 3.
Wow.
And then, as we've talked about before, every sort of remark is like a one of one. It's where signed books and original art all sort of kind of touch in a way that, if people look at original art, sometimes you can find something at a reasonable price, but in all fairness, original art, the market is huge now for original art. It's not uncommon to watch a claim show and see original art for $3,000-$4,000.
Everybody, this is all on me, the set, so I apologize. What I'll do is at the break, I'll see if we can get some boxes to lift everything. So sorry that the set isn't looking as good. I don't know how to hook up the camera to my computer. I never got past, what did you say it was? VideoMaster?
The ViewMaster.
ViewMaster. Etch-a-Sketch. That was the most complex I got.
Etch-a-Sketch.
I love a good Etch-a-Sketch.
Well, we have high-level talent coloring a book on Wednesday, and he is a writer with a...
Are they there?
A book that is near and dear to my heart. Do we have any more requests in there? I don't want to...
How many statues tonight? Just one statue tonight, Ronald.
I believe Dave wanted to have a look at the statue, if we could do that right now.
Yeah, let's do the statue.
That's our best offer item, which
starts
starts
as Hunger Games, fight to the end for it. No,
we got a Red Sonja tonight, and it's Red Sonja, black and white diamond die edition. It's also artist proof.
Nice.
Artist proof.
And you guys know I've talked about this Women of Dynamite collection before. I like all the statues. This Women of Dynamite collection really sort of, this is based on J. Scott Campbell's, take on Sonja. The Women of Dynamite collection just really connected with me. Hopefully it connects with you guys.
It's best offer starting at $50.
And this is like a $300 statue. If you go to shows, it's a $350 statue. So we're going to start. I can't remember if it was Red Sonja or if it was, I saw another Women of Dynamite statue, and the ask was $350. And this was a couple of years ago, and I went, okay.
Just okay.
Well, I just ran down here and got one after hours, but now $50. Someone is going to take this home for a deep discount, and I'm super glad. It's the holidays. It's the giving time of year.
That's a really great statue. Last week we had that Deja Thoris that someone got like super cheap. So I highly recommend jumping on these.
Dawn, created by Joseph Michael Linsner.
We had that last week.
I think. Purgatory? Did we do Purgatory?
That was a couple weeks ago.
Purgatory, also from the Women of Dynamite collection. It probably should have been from the Chaotic Women of Dynamite collection, but that's another series.
But that offer is open until 7:55 tonight. So again, starting offer is $50.
And
see how it goes.
Do me a favor, get your offers in. I know everybody likes to wait till the last minute or whatever, but almost every week somebody throws in an offer after the end line is up. There's always a little bit of a lag. I guess maybe that's just the nature of these kinds of things, but I don't want people to feel like, they wait. Generally speaking, you're better to throw in an offer, even if it gets beat at the last minute or whatever.
We have one bid from Dave. All right, I'll put you down.
These things are just, and the fact that this one's an artist proof at $50, my guess is this one isn't going to. My guess is this one isn't going to end up at $50. People are going to bid on this. Speaking of Red Sonja, this is a character now that's pretty much as hot as she gets. Dynamite literally can't bang these things out fast enough. Nick is on the phone constantly with creators, getting different books on the schedule or whatever. I just started rereading Red Sonja the Superpowers, which is a great series by Dan Abnett, I think. Tonight we have 9/8 slab virgin cover. I probably should have just kept this. This is crazy. But it's the Joseph Michael Lindner cover.
Number
Virgin
2.
cover number. I'm sorry. It's a 9/8. It's Red Sonja Superpowers issue 2. And she's on the cover with a character called Mr. Raven. Just started rereading this. I'll tell you right now, even if you don't pick this up, and we say this a lot, but certain books you absolutely should go pick up the back issues for. I don't know if there's going to be a trade for this or not. So, I don't, I mean, I guess I could just take the camera back to Nick's office and ask, but.
It's one of our 5-star books for 50 tonight.
Wow. That's a great cover, too.
It's, you know what I mean? I love the cover. Superpowers and the companion book, Vampirella the Dark Powers, they had some amazing alternate covers. I mean, maybe I would say these are probably the best alternate covers Dynamite's had in the last several years. People know I read and collect almost everything they do, but the alternate covers for this were just black and white. There was one in crimson. The crimson one for this is amazing. And again, even if you don't, you don't bid on this. Wait, what is the retail for this? $89?
$89.99.
$89.99. $50. You're like almost 40% off. Even if you don't pick this up tonight, shoot on down to your local comic book store and see if they have the back issues from Red Sonja the Superpowers, because it's very. I mean, Dan Abnett has done a lot of really good stuff, a lot of good books that I like. He does a great job here. Every time I see someone from a different character come over to Dynamite, I always have a little bit of trepidation. I've told everybody the Fred Van Lente story, so I'm not going to go into it again. But I'm always going to wonder, will they get it? Some creators I know well enough from social media to know they'll get it. Like Amy Chu. When Amy Chu takes a character, I'm like, yeah, I've talked to her. She probably lives about an hour from me. So I've met her before and talked to her. And I know Amy Chu, I can hand her anything and she would get it.
What are we selling that for?
This is 50 tonight.
Let's get some action going. First person who claims it, $23. That's less than what we paid for Conan 23.
Well,
guys, 23. Somebody.
I'll give you
Nice.
$23 right now for it.
First person to claim it.
Other than me, the first person to claim it. Don't always let me have the books.
Marcus.
Great. Nice job.
Marcus, I'll put you down.
You know
Good
what?
pickup.
When Russ comes back, we're going to tell him I claimed like half the books. John just kept
That
handing his
doesn't
money.
change anything. You end up claiming some of the books after the show's over anyway.
It's true.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, though, Mark's going to love this. This is such a cool cover. There was not, in our part of the country, a ton of the...
Well, no, keep it up there. Just turn it around. Or here, I'll get you a sold sticker.
Thank you.
You got to do it the Amy classy way. Only I'm not as classy.
It's a very cool book. I was told...
thank you.
Thank you.
Your
I was
handwriting's
told
better.
there wasn't...
By this much.
There weren't a lot of Joseph Michael Lindner covers available in our part of the country. They went like that. They were gone. And then people were left to go to cons. And
So
shows.
nobody's buying either Thor. You would almost think that I'm saying somebody buy one of the Thors like I had something in mind.
Milo, Marcus got it first. I'm sorry. He was like half a second right before you.
Oh, see that. Why? Who else was going to bid on this?
Milo.
Milo.
It's when you're looking at this on YouTube, if you're within like 2 seconds of each other, YouTube shows your offer first, but we have it exact because we're going on StreamYard. So we apologize, Milo. There are going to be a few other surprises, so people get ready. I wish somebody would buy one of the Thors. Doesn't matter if it's Donny Cates or Walt Simonson. You'd almost think that $69.99 Walt Simonson would influence anyone. Because it's $33.70, right?
You're making Nick so sad by not buying these. We're not going off the air until someone buys them.
No. You almost think I had something in mind.
Somebody buy one of these because I want to see what he has in mind. I hope it's
How about let's give people a little bit to think about it. We do have to take our first break.
Okay.
So you guys think about it.
Robbie's buying the Thor book. He wants to see what's coming with it.
All right. Yeah, let's.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
We are back, everybody.
We fixed the camera, thank God.
Robbie's here. We've got a ton of our people here. Dave is here. Ronald's here. Nilo's here. Marcus is here, who already scored a very cool slab of a Joseph Michael Linsner Virgin cover. We got some other surprises and stuff. I don't want to take up the show again with talking about remarks, but remarks are just so cool. If I was going to start collecting tomorrow, I would start almost exclusively with remarks. Ken Hazer is our guy. We love what Ken Hazer does. I mean, we can't say it enough. Ken Hazer on The Walking Dead, Rick sketch, just very, very, very cool. This is Walking Dead, I think 132 blank variant, which he just did like a really nice.
192 actually.
192. I'm sorry.
192. Usually $89.99. It's 5-star at 50 tonight.
I like that cover. I like the gray, the use of gray there.
Yeah.
Really cool. And he's even doing some hatching there on the background. Like that's detail that most people would just either fill in or whatever. But
yeah,
that detail's really cool.
If you catch him on Instagram, you see a little bit. Some of the work that he puts into some of this stuff is insane. He posted one of the covers for Nick's number 3, which I think comes out in a few weeks, whatever. I don't know what the exact release date is. But you look at what he's doing on Nick's number 3 and like a Red Sonja book. And you know how Red Sonja has like the chainmail top, right? Mm-hmm. He has this close-up of her and you can see the scales on her chainmail top. And there's like a sketch or a little bit of a design in each scale. I cannot imagine how long that takes.
That's crazy. I mean, look at the texture that's provided on that collar there. He just uses some of those gray marks and it just, you can tell that that's that fuzzy kind of texture.
It's like Rick jumping off the page, so to speak. I saw that and I was like, I want to make sure. We generally try to get to everything. Sometimes, we get jammed up a little bit. We don't get to everything. But I really wanted to, we're kind of in the the last go around, I guess, for The Walking Dead, at least for the original series. You know what I mean? And before the finale, and I know the finale is probably going to cause some of the back issues and stuff like that to bubble a little bit. This is like a little bit of a counterweight. We've got this thing at 50.
Ronald's question: what's the price on the Donny Cates Thor? Double checking, Ron. Double checking.
It's $39.99. It looks like you just claimed it too.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the beginning of the night.
Donny Cates, I'll get you down.
I don't know if another Thor cover sort of connected for me like that. I'll tell you, I would love to see a variation of this that glows in the dark.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like cardstock where it glows in the dark or whatever. That would be too cool.
Isn't that the last issue too? 192? That's the final issue, I think, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
It's super thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the final issue. They could have made it to 200 and milked out some more money, but they didn't. He just was like, you know what? Story's done. I like that.
Well, if anybody who's watched Robert Kirkman in any of these sort of extended interviews, he really talks about like the organic nature of storytelling. You know what I mean? Like people flipped out when he decided that, well, I'm going to redo Invincible a little bit. And everyone was like, oh, it's a terrible money grab. And then when they read it, they were like, oh, this is great. This is really cool. I'm like, you should have had faith to know that Kirkman just doesn't do stuff to do stuff. You know what I mean? That guy's about as over as it gets. He can pick what books he wants to do, pick what projects he wants to do. I don't think he kind of needs to swerve anybody for a few more issues. When he said he was going to end The Walking Dead, he did, because it was done. When he said he was going to kind of take Invincible on sort of like one more lap around, it was some of the best storytelling at the end of that book.
So here's the surprise that I'm throwing out at everybody.
Here we go.
Or
who just bought the Thor book?
Here's the surprise I'm throwing at the person who bought the Thor book.
Ronald,
you're going to get a bonus Dynamite Ultra Limited Edition book at no cost.
Nice.
Just to get that ball rolling. Now, Dave, let's see what you want to buy. Let's see what's next.
It's the giving time of
Now,
year.
here's the thing.
Okay.
All kidding aside, tonight, whether it's a few reading copies of Dynamite books or maybe something a little bit more special, high end, everybody gets something free with each purchase.
Oh,
Right.
Tonight.
Saint Nick.
So if I buy something, I can take the Evil Ernie statue home?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I got an evil Ernie statue. I bet that's awesome. I bet that's gnarly.
That Evil Ernie statue is massive. I joke around with Nick about this thing all the time. This thing is like double the size of any other statue we have. It is a very cool statue. And if you like Evil Ernie, this thing is really neat. But yeah, this thing is a massive statue.
I got something from Dynamite in the mail today. Look what I got. I got my Vampirella.
Vampirella.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
I love it when something comes in like that.
Look
You're like,
at the
yeah,
size
it's like
of this
Christmas.
thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's almost as big as my stomach.
It is very cool. And no, nobody will be getting the Evil Ernie statue, but this thing is just so cool. I'll tell you right now. I don't know how much Evil Ernie merch is out there.
I was going to say, we really don't. I'm surprised we don't have something like, the Red Sonjas and the Vampirella statues. Like, we don't have anything that size with Evil Ernie.
One day.
One day.
You can only do so many at a time, right?
If you guys want an Evil Ernie statue that's a little bit more affordable, please let us know. Well, if it's in high demand, they'll make it.
Instead of Women of Dynamite, maybe we'll do like a Mad Men of Dynamite series.
Oh, yeah.
Characters from Chaos and stuff like that. Yeah, Evil Ernie is cool. I'll tell people right now.
All right.
It's kind of one of those books that flies under the radar.
Here we go. More stuff.
In honor of Ronald.
Oh, Ronald. Why is everything in honor of Ronald?
So instead of, because how about in honor of Evil Ernie?
Nice.
Okay.
Every purchase tonight will get a reading copy of a Dynamite comic and a limited edition Chaos hand-drawn sketch card.
Oh.
Wow.
Now, these sell for $35 each on their own. And look at some of the detail on some of them. You're not going to be guaranteed which character, but Merry
Rex and
Christmas,
John statues.
Hanukkah, whichever one you want, huh?
No, Lefty Blue's like, how about Rex and John statues?
Oh.
Oh, wow. 2 statues only a mother would love.
My mom, God rest her soul, would not want to be looking up from her resting place and seeing me this
Wow.
I think we would rather see Amy show the sketch cards than me. So, again, it's a wide variety, but we're going to, all kidding aside, we know Dave busts our chops about getting back to the selling point. We'll do that.
These are really nice guys.
Well, wait a minute. I already sold stuff. How much stuff did Dave buy? We're going to start getting about the buying point.
Oh, all right, here you go. I thought I was going to hold on to them.
No, I said show them, but then you were looking at them. You were showing yourself.
Yeah, we got
Chaos. Absolute
Well,
chaos.
that is chaos.
Absolute it's chaos here. It's chaos in the cards. It's chaos, guys.
Yeah, these are really neat. People who buy stuff tonight are going to be happy when these come. These are sketch cards. These
Dave
aren't
has a question for you.
Sure, go ahead, shoot.
As long as Nick get what? Oh, hang on. Question for John: did the Green Hornet and Shadow comics in the 1940s have zombie storylines?
No.
Well, flesh-eating zombies didn't really exist yet, right?
Not only that, but I've spoken at length with the publisher about zombies and
Well,
Green
you know how
Hornet
there's a
books?
first Robin and a first Wolverine and the first X-Men? Maybe there should be a first zombie. Oh, that goes back to Lazarus. Never mind.
I was going to say, is that Frankenstein or Lazarus or?
Well, it depends on what we mean by zombie, right? Because they were doing movies with like voodoo zombies, but like the zombies that we know of today really started with Romero, right? Night of the Living Dead.
I was going to say, yeah, the best of my recollection in modern, like I guess we'll call it pop horror culture, it starts with Romero in Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Great movie.
If somebody else knows something different, put it in the comments. Let us know.
And George didn't even call them zombies in that movie. He referred to them as ghouls. And then the zombie thing, like, and then in Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, and then it picks up Lucio Fulci and all that kind of stuff. So
there were movies with the zombie title as late as early as the 40s. I think Bela Lugosi is in a movie called The White Zombie.
Yeah, White Zombie. I've seen
They're voodoo zombies, though. That's the difference. It's more like Serpent in the Rainbow kind of stuff.
Yeah. These are sort of not
like mind control zombies. Yeah.
You know, there's like a little bit of a split there when you kind of started, like Robbie mentioned, this sort of voodoo zombie, and then you get Night of the Living Dead. And I guess that's almost like a good way to put it is you have supernatural zombies. And then you have this idea dating from Mary Shelley that it's not anything supernatural that creates the living dead, Frankenstein. It's always science. In the case of science or science fiction, in, like The Living Dead, if I remember correctly, like a meteor hit the Earth or something.
It's a Venus probe.
The Venus probe hit the Earth. And then in some of the other stuff, like in a very cool, I think, Return of the Living Dead, it was some kind of animated serum.
Trioxin.
It is almost never sorcery or the supernatural. It is almost always, hey, what happens if I mix this and this? Zombies is what happens when you mix this and this. Don't do it again. I like it. It has to be done in a controlled way, like Herbert West in Reanimator. You can't just like release the stuff out in the graveyard because then it's running and screaming and, The Walking Dead.
We should get to another book because you mentioned Reanimator. I could go on for hours.
I was going to say, Robbie, you want to pick the next one?
Yeah, Robbie, pick the next one.
Yeah, let's do, let's see. I am a big fan of Mike Zeck. I know we get a Secret Wars #1 signed by him, exclusive cover.
Yes, this one's signed in gold.
Gold signature series.
This is number 25 out of 100 copies.
Nice.
Pretty awesome. And tonight, trying to find it. This one's gonna be full MSRP tonight because they're gold signature series, super rare, super special.
Zeck's signature, super rare, but you know what? It is the holiday, so it's $89.99.
Yes.
For number 25. Let's knock 25 off. What would that bring it to? $64.99.
$64.99.
$64.99. We'll knock $25 off for the 25th copy of a gold signature series
book. Yeah, I mean, there's not how many of these?
And it's a DF exclusive cover too, right?
Yeah. When you think about, first of all, getting Mike Zeck's signature is near impossible these days. There's no conventions. The best place to get a signature is at a convention. Yeah. Very difficult to get. This is rare. This is limited. This is from Dynamic Forces. Show the certificate of authenticity because the number on the certificate matches the number on the comic. And I think that's really important to remind everybody. This is a piece of history. This is also a Dynamic Forces exclusive cover. So it's not even the regular cover. It's a limited edition cover with an even more limited edition signing. And when you think of the history and the gravitas that Mike Zeck had with Secret Wars, everything that came out of it, Spider-Man's new costume, the Beyonder, so many things have come out of Secret Wars that getting his signature is a marquee signature. He is one of the most important artists of our time and of the last 40 years. When you think of the watershed work he did on Captain America, how beloved that those stories are. They're near burn era, but again, we can't talk enough about how important he was to Secret Wars.
And Craven's Last Hunt too.
Yeah. What was that?
Craven's Last Hunt, another perennial work.
Craven's Last Hunt. He's a creator that should probably be discussed more, actually. You know, we talk about that there are certain creators because, you know, when you look at sort of like the Hall of Fame of creators, that's a guy that should be in there and should be like first ballot. It shouldn't be sort of a, you know, like every once in a while you're like, oh, like you're talking about all these characters. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like, you know, let's make sure we bring him, you know. And everyone is getting a free gift. Just, you know,
free
throw
gifts,
this
guys,
out there
on.
too. We're getting free gifts. Did we lose Robbie? We might have lost. Oh no, he's here.
He's still here. Thank God.
I had to grab this. I wanted to show you all this. This is my
nice.
This is my Punisher Return to Big Nothing graphic novel.
Nice.
And I got both Scott and Mike to sign it for me.
Nice.
Or John, not Scott.
Nice.
Wrong Beatty. Anyway, how cool is that? Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's a cool book too.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Zach $64.99 plus a free gift. I don't, you know, happy holidays.
How about, since our statue was a best offer item and that's still going, you guys, we have another best offer item and it's Miss Fury.
Everybody knows this is, I think, Philip Tan. Yeah, this is only 75 copies of this. This is a blood red edition. You guys know I absolutely love these. They're blood red. They're crimson. They're Marvel. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. Marla Drake is someone we should probably know more about, and we don't. There's like a whole sort of history behind this character that should, you know what I mean? She kind of gets forgotten a little bit. She predated Wonder Woman as like the first like solo female character. This particular run was really, really just top notch. I love this character. This is one of these characters I routinely pester Nick for more books for. You know, unfortunately, it'd have to be like 6 Nicks to respond to all the stuff that I would like. But Miss Fury is just a great character. You know,
Fury
like,
number 6, and its best offer starting at $10.
$10, which is, you know, nothing for these books. These are
the perfect 10 read.
If you guys go to cons and shows, finding these sort of blood red books or crimson covers, not real easy. Because when people get them, they keep them. And it's hard for dealers at shows to get more of them. I remember a couple of years ago, I was at a show and there were like 4 people arguing over like a single Vampirella blood red cover. And the guy had a ton of other stuff there, but you know, people kind of fixate on what they want. It's only 75 of these. Usually the single color covers Dynamite does. Usually maybe 50, 75 covers. Occasionally one is 25. At $10, this is a nice sort of.
Right. Nilo has 10 so far.
Nice.
I'll put you down.
I love the red covers. They're great.
The red covers are very, very, very cool. There's a blood red or a crimson cover of the Red Sonja's superpowers that we did. And I'm trying to see maybe at some point if Rex can find one and get it on the show, because that is so cool.
a suggestion for the next one?
Sure.
How about one of our Alex Ross covers?
Yeah.
Who? I've never heard of this guy.
Did you hear that Alex Ross just announced a Fantastic Four graphic novel complete?
We did. I walked into his office today and said, "Hey, did you hear about this?"
Did you see the coloring on that? That looked
Yes.
amazing. Way different than anything I've seen from him. That's super cool.
Well, I guess like any artist, even as good as he is, he decides to stretch himself. And, you know, I've seen in interviews where he's admitted the Fantastic Four are one of his favorite books.
And rightly so.
He's always had his idea of how he wanted to do it. I guess maybe the time wasn't right. Now I'm going to guess, and, you know, I don't think this is a big surprise to anybody. I think Alex Ross primarily picks up the phone and tells publishers what he wants to do.
Yeah, right.
And they try to, and I don't mean that like in a jerk way. I just mean like he wakes up and stretches and he's like, Fantastic Four. And he picks up whoever he talks to at Marvel and says, hey, I have an idea. And it's basically up to the editor, publisher to just find in the schedule where they can fit it in. Right? I mean, Alex has done, there was a time where people said you never knew it was going to attract his attention. Right? He's done a ton of stuff for DC. He's done a ton of stuff for Dynamite. His covers are routinely the best covers in most series that he does. His takes on characters are generally the best takes of those characters. We will do Kirby.
Got a claim on the Secret Wars.
Nice.
That's Ron. All right.
That you know what, Ron? That is a great snag because, like we said, there is not a lot of Zek signatures floating around out there, especially with cons sort of. Some are canceled, some are nerfed, some are virtual, some are, where it's kind of a con, but it's not. I'm getting like mixed feedback from people on social media. There are people saying, "Oh, it's great, no problem whatsoever," and there are other people that are, everybody is sort of distanced and it's hard to get into Writers Row or Artist Alley or whatever. This is
Kirby Genesis.
Kirby Genesis. I love this. This is one of these things where Kirby created these characters when he was in the midst of his torrid love affair with like Chariot of the Gods. Most of these characters sort of and you can make the argument that Kirby has always had a love affair with Chariot of the Gods, the Inhumans and the Eternals, which is still in theaters, and the New Gods. These are all kind of the same idea from, I guess, the original writer of the book was Eric Van Daniken, that, it's a great quote from Battlestar Galactica. Life here began out there. And, space gods, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of this stuff is covered in Kirby Genesis, which Dynamite did, I'm going to say,
signed in silver
8 years ago. This one is signed in silver. It's only 4 copies. This is 4 of 4.
And $69.99 tonight, guys.
This is sort of
4 of 4 in honor of his new Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. That's exactly what I thought.
And I'll tell you this, man, no lie. I think Dynamite does a lot of good stuff, but I think this is by far my personal favorite that Dynamite has ever done is Kirby Genesis. I love seeing these characters come back and those Ross covers and stuff, man. Really good stuff.
Silver Star, Captain Victory. These were things that I was almost Night Flyer. These are things that I was afraid like were just gone. They appeared here and there. I think Topps Comics in the 90s sort of kind of took a run at these, and there were cards and different characters. I don't think it really caught on. You know what I mean? I just don't really think it caught on too much. Dynamite started doing Kirby Genesis, and the covers were amazing. The stories, there was a kind of like a spin-off story with Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. It's great stuff. And again, this is stuff, shoot over to your local comic book store. See if they have the back issues. Hit them up on email, on maybe their websites or whatever. If not, the Experience has a ton of merchants with shows and stuff like that you can probably, email and say, hey, look, do you guys have this? Something about Alex Ross doing Jack Kirby stuff just has this real natural feel to it. Like, who else would do it, right? Not to kind of disrespect anybody else doing Kirby's work, but it seems like if you're going to get someone to do it, it should be Alex Ross. At least that's just my take on it.
Yeah, it works. The color and everything, it's as energetic as Kirby's, as dynamic. Is really cool.
I think Alex Ross looks and says, What's Kirby trying to do here? Okay, I got it. And then he sits down at his board and does his thing. Silver Signature Series 4 of 4. What is it, sir? 69? What did you say this one was?
$69.99.
$69.99. Plus, Nick is throwing in a free gift for everybody who buys stuff tonight. Hopefully,
really 2 free gifts. You get a Dynamite book, Dynamite book, and a card.
Hopefully, none of that stuff was stuff I was going to get. It's fine. But yeah, if you're going to pick something up, tonight's kind of the time to do it. Nick is in that generous mood where he's just kind of throwing stuff into packages when they go out.
Do we want to squeeze one more book in before?
I was going to say, I was just trying to see the. You know what? Let's try to squeeze one more book in really quick. We talked about this when we did the Mega Pack. We have a second Ken Hazer remark tonight. The Joker, probably one of DC's top 2-3 all-time villains, I guess, in terms of appearances, merch, however you want to look at it. This is a different take on Joker than is in the Mega Pack. And I'm going to put them a little bit side by side so maybe people can kind of get a look a little bit. Coloring, shading, the angle. It's just everything is really different. Trademark Joker smile. This is 5. You tell me.
It's usually $89.99, but tonight that copy in particular is going to be $40.19.
Oh, $19.40 for the.
You got it.
For the Joker. This is sort of Joker's 80th anniversary. It was like the 100-page giant. $40 and change is just almost criminally low for this thing.
Yeah.
For any signed book, let alone a signed book that's been remarked this well. Once again, you can see Ken using gray for texture, to sort of let you see, where the Joker's already white complexion is enhanced by the makeup he wears. This is sort of, I don't know. I think there's a good way to put this. I think Joker is a villain that's just going to kind of be with us to stay. But I think in the next upcoming Batman movies, I think they're going to try to move away from the Joker a little bit. I think, you know what I mean? I think they've talked about maybe some new villains, maybe, and also in the next animated series that I think Joker is like the go-to for everything Batman. And I think as we kind of enter new era, new age, they want to try to come up with, new villains and stuff like that. So, before these things go back in the vault, this is probably your time. And again, this is a good night to buy because you're getting extra stuff.
Yeah.
Break time?
Yeah, I think so. We'll think about what we're going to do next, and we'll be right back.
Robbie's going to hang with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thanks, everybody.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit ComicShopLocator.com today.
Alright. Hi, I'm Travis, the King of Source Point, and you're watching The Experience.
We are back. I'm here with Amy. Rex has been edited out of continuity. I'm sorry. Imagine we did like a what if episode. Nice. We got
Nice.
great
Little spam,
little
spam.
spam up there. Robbie's with us. Robbie, and just a little bit of Robbie is a great show. Check it out. If we can throw a link up there.
Thank you.
It's kind of the thing where if you want to know a thing or two about a thing or two, check out his show. You know what I mean? Just we're real fortunate to have him here. I mean, we're glad everybody takes the time to join us every week. Appreciate that. Right before the break, we were talking about Joker. Kind of seems like a natural transition here to go from Joker to Batman. Before we kind of get into anything else, we have some other stuff we have to take care of too.
Real quick,
Sure.
recap on our best offer items. Right now, we just have two. Our Red Sonja statue start up at 50, but our current highest bid is 100 from Gabe.
Gabe, this is a beautiful statue. Whoever takes this home is going to be happy.
And then Miss Fury number 6, which is best offer starting at 10, and Nilo so far has his 10 in. So those are our two best offer items, and claims end at 755.
Yeah. So again, we'll do some kind of countdown. There'll be an end line. To try to make sure if you get your bid in, don't what I mean. Don't wind up being like, oh, I just missed it, and then you really want it.
And then I know people are getting an extra Dynamite book and free cards tonight.
Yep.
Someone else is going to get another very special Dynamite card tonight. Robbie, we gotta look through our comments. We gotta see who's gonna win a cool Red Sonja card.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We've got this to take care of too. Sweet.
I got it loaded up in Rockin' Robbie's
No,
revolutionary
I-
randomizer
real quick.
ridiculousness. What's that?
45th anniversary Red Sonja card.
These things are so nice.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, when we do these things, these different, contests or whatever, basically all you have to do is comment,
Just comment.
just put something in the comments.
Just a hi.
Say,
Just a
hey,
hi.
whatever, and you're sort of automatically entered.
Yeah.
Robbie
Even
did this,
even just emojis work. You can do, just
Oh,
a
yeah,
period.
and Robbie's roulette wheel of doom or whatever spins, and, somebody picks up a cool gift.
All right, let's spin it then.
Yes.
Sweet.
Spin it. Just spin it. And the winner is Lohit Sastry is the winner of that one.
All right.
I don't know if you're in here tonight. If you are, congratulations. If not, hit somebody up so we can get you your card, man.
Yeah, free card.
Very cool.
Congrats, Station.
I love these things.
And one more thing before we move on.
Sure.
We were talking about Mike Zeck. This is one of my favorite comic book covers ever.
Ooh.
It's Secret Wars number 10, right? Is it 10? Yeah. And I got mine signed by Mike.
Nice.
And I just love that image. He's inked there by Terry Austin, which is just phenomenal. But yeah, this is when Doom fights the Beyonder and steals the power and all that,
Yeah.
But yeah. Mike Zeck's super cool, Ron. You got a good one tonight, man.
Yeah, that one is like I said, you know what? It's one of these things where if we're talking about, Hall of Fame creators, who belongs, who should go in, who should not go in, there's no question when you look at Zeck's body of work. That guy is, right to the front of the line, rope down, and he goes. We were talking about the Joker before we went to the break. Obviously, it's a natural transition, I guess, to Batman. We have All-Star Batman #1, JR Jr. signature. It looks like it is a Jay Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Jay Lee
I like
cover.
Jay Lee a lot.
Only 100 copies of this are signed. This is number 26 of 100. Jay Lee just sort of, Jay Lee's always been a talent. He just really sort of the last few years has just sort of found a look. I'm not creative in that way, so I don't know how that works, but artists talk about finding their sweet spot, finding their rhythm, finding their vibe. If you look at what Jay Lee has done in the last 4, 5, 6-ish years or something, you can see there's like a definite direction he's picked, like a space he's carved out, and just very, very cool.
Usually $69.99 tonight. It's one of our 5-star books, so it's $50.
Nice.
Jay Lee's one of my favorites. I love Jay Lee. It's so
JR does not do shows. When he does, he charges $20 a signature at the shows.
Oh, wow.
So you have to go to the show. You got to get it in line, pay to get it signed, and then all the gas, all the food, and everything. Or if you go through his handler, it will still probably cost you more than this. You won't have a Dynamic Forces certificate. You have to mail it in. You pay John his signature fee. You have to pay the handler fee. Then you get it mailed back to you. And keep in mind one last thing. John's not doing any more DC work. He has signed an exclusive with Marvel. So this is rare now. And what number is it?
Wow.
1.
It's 2500.
It's 26 out of 100.
26
actually.
of 100.
And it's Elite Gold, so it's $89.99. What are we doing it at?
50.
There you go.
Whew.
That's a lot. I'm exhausted listening to all of that. We might need to take another break.
Maybe it's just Nick.
Is he drinking espresso back there?
Yeah.
Sticking with the Joker Batman theme, this is a character that's really sort of cropped up in the last couple of years that I'm going to guess at some point we're going to see her maybe on an HBO Max series or something, and that's Punchline. People instantly took to this character. There wasn't too much of a Joker War came along. We had James Tynion IV, and we've talked about this guy a bunch of times. This is really like the Midas touch guy. Everything he does jumps to the top of the charts for sales. People really get, it connects with people right away. He signed 180 copies of Punchline #1. This is issue 47.
It's another 5-star 50 tonight.
And I'll tell you right now, this is a book I absolutely see that will go up in value. Sometimes I'm not sure, or just sort of, using like the force a little bit. This one I'm telling you flat out the more we see Punchline, the more her back issue and first few appearances are really going to begin to balloon. This is a chance for you to sort of get one. I talk about this a lot. Grabbing stuff ahead of the wave, ahead of the curve, right? You don't want to wait until a TV project has been announced or the character appears in a movie or something, because by the time the announcement is made, chances are your dealers already knew this was coming, and all those prices have been, adjusted for the market blow up. Chance to get this $50 now, a year and a half from now, this book will probably be double that.
Yeah, this is her first solo title. It's just a one-shot, and it's her origin. And to answer Dave's question, he had a question about which new Batman villain my customers like the most. When Punchline came out, that was huge. But now it seems like more people were into that Vile character from Detective Comics. So that's to answer your question, Dave. But Punchline is definitely popular as well.
Yeah, I think it was just sort of, we had some Ken Heiser remarks for Punchline. They did not last long. I don't mind saying those. We talked about it. We showed them. Boom, they were gone. I don't think, I might be wrong, I don't think we have any left. At least not that, Rex is going to have to go into the vault and find.
And it's only a matter of time until Punchline shows up in an animated series or a movie or a TV series or something like that. It's only a matter of time.
Well, the time frame is really shrinking. In the beginning, you would see a DC animated movie, and it was something from 10, 15, 20 years ago. I think the latest one that just dropped is Injustice?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that went from like 20, when did Dark Knight come out? Like 30 years ago. Now we're like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
We're really kind of shrinking. I can easily see in a year or two, like you said, Punchline showing up.
Yeah.
Something.
MCU's doing the same thing, right? They like mined all the classic stories to a point, Infinity Gauntlet and Civil War, and now they're doing newer stuff like Kate Bishop and Yelena Belova and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, you guys who are joining us, you follow, you see on social media, you kind of get what people want to see, right? So, and this leads to me saying, if there's something that you want us to see on the show that we don't have tonight, message Rex and let him know. Hey, you want to see, I'm just going to throw out a name here. I want to see more Sinestro, right? Let him know. And, it's not automatic. I don't know if we have anything, but if Rex knows people are wanting it, we can send him out there to kind of find it.
Nice.
Maybe another.
Want to knock out another slab?
Yeah, let's knock out another slab. This is a book, I'll tell you right now, this is a book I didn't want to like. One of the few things in my comics life that are inviolable to me are Watchmen. I didn't want to see any follow-ups. I didn't want to see any sequels. The mad old sorcerer and his castle, didn't really want to see any of this stuff. But, the industry being what it is, we got beyond Watchmen. We got Doomsday Clock. And I have to tell you, this is one of these things where I had to sit down and really, put on my big boy pants to eat a lot of humble pie. I did not think much of this story at all before I read it. I thought it was a cash grab. I said as much. This is a tremendous story. Doomsday Clock is really, really good. I cannot stress enough. Even if you don't pick up this slab 9.8, this is Doomsday Clock number 1.
$89.99.
$89.99.
9.8 guaranteed.
Yeah, this thing, I cannot stress enough the art, the story. And I did not, I always like to preface this with, I really didn't want to like this book. But people were like, oh, you got to check it out. You got to check it out. So I did. And I'm super glad that I did. I love this thing.
I love Doomsday Clock. I mean, I know a lot of, I get it. A lot of people have their reservations about mining the Watchmen property. And I understand all of that, especially with the history that Moore has with DC over it and whatnot. But this, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, I think they leveled up as creators with this book. I think they really studied what Dave and Alan had done.
Yeah.
In that initial series, and even John Higgins is the colorist, which the coloring in the original Watchmen, some of my favorite coloring in comic books. But
the coloring almost tells like a secondary level of the story, and the same thing happened here in Doomsday Clock. I love that.
Yeah, and I so they leveled up as creators, but just the way that Jeff Johns was able to tell the story about the Watchmen, not just infiltrating the DC universe, but it was basically about the Watchmen's influence on comic books, period. It was kind of meta in that way.
It was kind of meta. You're absolutely right.
Really cool stuff.
Particularly comic fans of my generation tend to have a lot of reservations about, we're going to revisit Dark Knight. Where Dark Knight's a bad example of, because when Frank Miller was going to do it, it's basically his work anyway, so it's kind of hard to have a problem with it. When they decide to redo Watchmen, when they revisit stuff like Crisis on Infinite Earths, there's always a little bit of a hesitation, right? This is stuff from our childhood. This is stuff from our college years. We really don't want to see it mined or messed around too much. I try to be conscious of that and approach these things now with a little bit more of an open mind. And Doomsday Clock is a perfect example of, I didn't read it. Like the day it came out, I didn't read it. I had read some of the before Watchmen stuff, and I was not the biggest fan. This came out and just, I wound up rereading the before Watchmen stuff, and to see the story that they're trying to tell, they're trying to kind of flesh that out and then incorporate it more into, I guess we'll call it like the main DC universe, the streamlined DC universe. Just tremendous work all the way around. I don't know if Johns and Frank got enough fanfare, enough credit, enough spotlight for doing this. It should be mentioned a lot more.
Yeah.
9.8, beautiful condition.
I think it got hurt because of the delays in the schedule. That kind of threw a lot of people off. It took a long time for those last half-ish of that story to come out. But when you read it all together in a graphic novel now, it works. It works so well to me.
It really does. And this is another thing as an older fan, I'll say, when people don't have, and I've heard this before, I've heard this on podcasts, I've heard this on other shows, I've read this on social media, when people are like, oh, when I was younger, books came out on time. No, they did not. They did not come out in time. Books came out when they came out. Books came out sometimes not at all. A creator would put together like a great promo for it. You'd be like, I can't wait to read this book. And it just never came because the creator decided to go and live in Disney World for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, especially in those Image days.
Yeah, I mean, so I would ask people, my generation, be a little bit more open-minded and tolerant because some of this stuff, just like, the 80s, the 90s, not everything is going to work, but the stuff that works now, the creators that are in the business right now, they're as good as anyone has been prior. I mean, people are like, well, no one will ever touch Kirby. I love Kirby. First and foremost, I love Kirby. But I don't know if you can say nobody can touch Kirby when you have Alex Ross working. You know what I mean? You're sort of gatekeeping in a way that I don't think really resonates. This leads to the other slab book we have, Spider-Gwen. This was a story, again, where I loved What If. The first origin issues of What If, Volume 1, they didn't sell a ton. You know what I mean? People were not really ready to see different versions of Captain America, different versions of Spider-Man. These things came out, I'm going to say, maybe in the 70s originally. It took a while for people to get into it. Now we have multiverse fever, I'll call it. Marvel, DC, Dynamite is doing it. I understand Dark Horse has something in the works where you're going to basically see different versions of Hellboy and some of their stuff. The multiverse is here to stay. One of the best creations, in my opinion, by far, from Marvel's multiverse move is, I know we're supposed to call her Ghost Spider or what?
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman. There's for me, she's always going to be Spider-Gwen. I guess maybe that doesn't help them out enough. It's just a terrific book. This is Spider-Gwen 19. 9/8. This is from, I guess, the Resurrection series.
88 tonight, by the way.
88 tonight. This is just, we've talked about this before. Getting slabs is becoming, I don't want to say it's more trouble than it's work, but it's a lot more difficult than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago even. Creators are kind of picking and choosing their spots for signed stuff. The slabbing process, the grading process, everything is just slowed down. This is a great way for you to say, hey, you know what? I want this book, and I just, you know what I mean? We're you pick this up tonight, 2 free gifts go in with it. I just, like I said, I think Spider-Gwen might be, I don't want to say it's the most successful, because if you're talking about multiversal, you've also got to mention Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Who, let's be honest, every day more and more fans think of him as Spider-Man. And Peter Parker is the other Spider-Man. And I'm fine with that. I think Brian Bendis is probably fine with that too when he kind of created this stuff.
Yeah. Spider-Gwen's hot. Of course, she's going to be in the new movie. We've gotten the first look for that. But I really love this cover because it's Clayton Crane, but it's one of my favorite X-Men, Jubilee, which was she was the Kitty Pryde of my generation. She was like the one. She was our perspective, from the TV show, from those Jim Lee days. I'm a huge Jubilee fan and really like that cover.
And Jubilee, they've done a ton of stuff with Jubilee. You know what I mean? We've seen her as old Jubilee. We've seen her as a vampire. We've seen her with a child. You know what I mean? They've really gotten. I don't know if when they first introduced Jubilee, they expected her to have the kind of resilience and traction that she's had in storytelling. This isn't a character, and let's be honest, there was a time in the 90s where a lot of characters were introduced and sort of went by the wayside 10 years later, not even remembered. Jubilee, I don't know if she's ever had her own series, but Jubilee,
she's had like some miniseries, I for sure. I know, but
she's a fan favorite character, and I always use this very unofficial metric. When I go to a con and I see a ton of people cosplaying that character, to me, that character is over and here to stay. I see Jubilees every con I go to. It doesn't matter if it's Seattle, Chicago, San Diego, Orlando. I see Jubilee everywhere. And I was just, for her to be on the cover of this, and not to mention, she kind of fits very well with the sort of Spider-Gwen corner of the Marvel Universe where they're trying to tell those stories.
Yeah. Love me some Jubilee. I remember in Marvel versus DC when her and Robin were supposed to have a fight, but instead they just kind of hung out, went on a little date. It was cute.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that.
Absolutely.
What a weird superhero name, though. Her name is Jubilation Lee, so she's going to call herself Jubilee.
Jubilee.
I love it.
Well, I think that, you know what I mean? And it brings up a good point. Every generation, every decade or so, we have to kind of get a character that sort of is us in the book. I mean, I might not necessarily be saying that right, but and Jubilee is absolutely that character. Kitty Pryde was the character before that.
Yeah. When they did the movies, it was Rogue. They used Rogue for that. Yeah.
And I hate to put them in this category. I'm guessing maybe Robin, one of the sidekicks, or maybe Jimmy Olsen is like the first of those characters where you're supposed to see him and think of yourself in the story. Superman's pal. Every generation kind of has one. I don't know who's going to be next. I'm glad to see Jubilee still around. If we're going to talk about the X-Men.
I was going to suggest, do we want to knock out our last remark? Or X-Men? You know what?
While we're on the subject of the X-Men, Death of Wolverine, this is an Alamo City Comic-Con sort of a limited edition variant. This is signed by Terry and Rachel Dodson. Only 74 copies of these. Certificate is on the back, numbers matching.
Usually $13.99. Tonight we're making it $19.74.
Wow, this is really nice. We've talked about this before. Some of these con-specific variants are harder to get in certain parts of the country than others. The big one I always get is the Midtown Comics variants. Retailer I talk to in Denver, she never sees them. She just never sees them at all. This is a great opportunity to grab this at a real low price and get your free gifts as well. We get closer to Christmas, is they going to give people more and more stuff?
Huh. Jubilee's on this cover too, isn't she? Because that's Jubilee, Kitty, Jean,
yes.
and Storm,
Jubilee,
right?
Kitty, Storm.
Yeah.
Death of Wolverine. I kind of like there's always that little bit of cowboy in the Logan character. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Because he's old enough to actually remember the West.
Yeah, a little cowboy, a little samurai. That's
yeah. He's got the belt buckle going on here. He's got the cowboy hat. This is really, really, really nice. This is, I think, M&M Comics. Every once in a while, a store or a con will sort of grab Dynamic Forces and say, hey, look, we kind of want to do our own version or our own cover or whatever. These things invariably become hard to find. This is your chance, where it's here on the show to grab this if you're a Wolverine fan. Let's jump to, like you said, the last remark. I don't want Ken Hazer, we've talked about this, is our guy. This is Hack and Slash versus Chaos. I was super glad when Dynamite acquired Chaos, because if Dynamite was, quote unquote, missing anything, it was that specific vein of horror. That's sort of, there's a little bit of humor in it. There's a little bit of splatter in it. This particular story is very, very cool. And this is a great way. Every once in a while, people will be like, how can I explain Chaos? How can you explain this and that? This book is a great way to learn how to do it. Ken's remark is, on point as it always is. I love the fact that it's black and white and red.
Yeah. That blood splatter. That blood splatter is great.
The blood splatter is great. I love when he does that.
It's even in her hair. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's usually $89.99, but guess how much it's going to be tonight?
$50?
No. It's going to be $19.92 tonight.
What? Wow. that's
So
crazy for
it might
Ken
just
Hazer
this might just
remark.
be our best offer of the night, really. Besides the normal best offers that we have, probably our best buy it now. I guess
That's a steal.
And that,
Yeah, I've never read Hack Slash. I hear really good things about it. You know, being a horror fan, I hear so many people talk about it.
it's worth putting on your reading schedule. You know what I mean? You can find some of the back issues.
we got a claim.
Oh yeah, I didn't think this was
All
going to
right.
last very long at all.
Okay.
I really did not. We love Ken, and Ken sort of really has an affection for some of these characters. You can see it. He really, the best sort of praise I have for Ken Hazer is he draws every character like it's his favorite character, and I absolutely love that.
Do we? It's almost about 7:30. Do we want to try squeezing one more book, or do we?
Why don't we
say,
talk a little bit about a little recap real quick? Let people know
Good
where
idea.
we are. Then we'll go to break, and then we'll come back and knock out the rest of these. We'll find out who's going to win who's going to win some of these items.
Let's go. Let's start at the top of the list real quick.
Sure.
Our mega set's still available at $99.
And this also has a Ken Hazer remark. It has Detective Comics 1000 slab 9.8 guarantee.
Got Batman and the Signal.
We've got Batman and the Signal, which
Signed
is
by Scott Snyder.
These are kind of limited edition books too. You know what I mean? We have Batman 48. This is signed by Tom King. Only 25 copies. This is number 3 of 25. A not low number. Nice low number. The mega pack tonight is loaded with stuff.
Next up was the Red Sonja statue, the black and white Diamond Die edition, artist proof statue. Gabe is so far still winning at 100. And again at 755 is when the claims are done.
It's done. It's done.
So there's still a little bit of time left. Ron got Thor number 8. Thor the Worthy is still available. Thor the Worthy number 1, so signed by Walt Simonson.
Walt is, when you talk about who do you want to do a Thor book, there's like maybe 2-3 names that come up. Walt Simonson is always in that conversation. I don't care if it's yesterday, today, tomorrow. Walt Simonson is always in that conversation.
All
Got
Star
another bid on the statue.
Oh, Dwayne, all right. All right, 120 on the statue.
Yeah, we're sort of getting into that final segment of the show. This is really when I would suggest people sort of, was it speak now or forever hold your peace? Or
That's where it gets fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All-Star Batman is number 1 is still available. The J. Lee variant that's signed by John Romita Jr.
And
which
Nick
is
commented,
50 tonight,
yeah.
by the way.
As Nick commented before, I love JR Jr. Don't get me wrong. Getting his signature is a process. You know what I mean? It's not like you can just, grab him outside the quick check and say, hey, sign this. Getting JR Jr. to sign something is a process. We're kind of cutting, letting you cut to the front of the line with this.
Punchline number 1, signed by James Tinian IV, is still available. It's 5-star, 50 tonight. Death of Wolverine number 1, which we just brought up, at $19.74. Miss Fury is one of our best offer items. Nilo still has his claim at $10.
$10.
So that's also still open.
This is a great book. The Crimson Blood Red type series this is just one of these things that, publishers have their lane, and Dynamite very much has their lane with these sort of blood red, crimson. We've had black and white. We occasionally have had very rare, true rare, emerald books.
All right, Walking Dead, number 192, our remark, still available. We have Kirby Genesis, number 0, the Silver Signature Series, signed by Alex Ross, still available.
I love this book. I really do. Alex only signed 4 of these. This is a Silver Signature Series. This is 4 of 4. That's it.
Our other Joker remark by Ken Hazer, still available at $40.19. Doomsday Clock, still available at $89.99. And our Spider-Gwen, still available at $88.
And like we've said before, you probably want to pull the trigger on some of these books before you know, the movies come out, before the shows come out, before Disney Plus decides, hey, we're doing this and that. Because I'll tell you right now, and I feel super confident saying this, Disney Plus pulls the trigger on like a Spider-Gwen series. Most of these books, their value will go up. I don't want to say they'll double, but they'll probably go close to doubling within a week of the announcement. You probably want to get in beforehand. They talked about Black Panther, and people were like, oh, I'm finding these books in dollar bins. And then the movie was announced, and, you know, there was a waiting list at the same store that had these books in a dollar bin like a year before.
All righty. So now it's 7:34. So
let's take our last break.
I'll try to make it super quick.
We'll try to make it quick. We'll knock out the few last books and find out who's winning some of this stuff. Robbie's going to hang with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Told you that'd be quick.
For the final time tonight, we are back. I'm here with Amy, thankfully. Rex was dropped off at the unemployment line. I don't
Spam!
I don't think we're going to see him back. We're here with Spam. We're here with Robbie. We've talked about a bunch of stuff. Something I want to bring up a little bit. Just seems before we kind of get to the end here, we've talked a lot tonight about buying things before the value explodes. And to put it into context, look at something like Spawn #1. There was a time where Spawn #1 was white hot. And then I remember a long period of time where Spawn #1 was sitting in like dollar bins. While the art and the story of the book was always good, I just think Spawn sort of, was one of those things that the value just didn't translate. I remember seeing good quality copies of Spawn 1, 2, 4, 5 in dollar bins, in like $10 bundle packs at trade shows. And I remember thinking, this really surprises me. You fast forward to like 2017, 18, 19, high-grade copies of this book are on waiting lists. Dealers can't get them. And if you try to buy one at a show, it's like the Hunger Games. It's almost like an auction breaks out at the counter when you're trying to buy one of these things. People are paying, you go look on eBay, people are paying insane amounts of money for this. We never, ever on this show have recommended that people treat the show like CNBC and comics as an investment, right? This is something you should do for the love of it. This is something you should do because you enjoy it. However, there is a monetary value attached to it, as well as an emotional value. And I would suggest that to get the most out of your money, you sort of buy at the right time. We're trying very hard to offer a lot of this stuff ahead of the wave, so to speak. Anyone that's ever bodyboarded or surfed knows you want to kind of get up and get going before the wave hits. And I think that's what we're doing with a lot of these books tonight, like Spider-Gwen, like Punchline. These are characters that we are going to see, I'm going to guess, pretty big futures from. You've got Marvel and DC owned by corporations that want to, turn every character into a commodity. Some characters that works better than others. Characters like Spider-Gwen and Punchline, there is a huge upside. Let's see. You know what? We got a few books to knock out before we finish tonight. Deadpool. This is another character when it came out. People weren't sure what to make of it. It was a little bit goofy. It didn't seem to quite fit in. Needless to say, Deadpool has done okay for himself.
Yeah. Our True Believers, Deadpool #1 reprint.
This one is
reprinting New Mutants #98.
This one's signed by Fabian Nicieza,
the co-creator.
200 copies he signed, and this one is, I think this is either
5-star 50.
Yeah, this is 5-star 50. I think this one is, out of the 200 copies Fabian signed, this one is either 148 or 146.
Let me read it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
It's not your fault, by the way, because if it's supposed to be an 8, it's not complete.
Yeah, it's not. Sometimes it's just that I'm old and my eyes are bad.
But it looks more like an 8 than a 6. So
we're going to call it 148.
I would say 148.
200. I mean, this is, Fabian has done a ton of stuff in the industry. Co-creating Deadpool, is that his top thing? I don't know. I mean, I remember a lot of the stuff, New Warriors, some of the stuff he did at the time was really groundbreaking. Now you kind of see a lot of this, but, 90s, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff like New Warriors out there.
Yeah, New Warriors was one of my favorites. I love that book. When I got to meet Fabian and Mark Bagley one year, like Fabian and Mark didn't charge me for any signatures that weekend because I'm a huge Night Thrasher fan, and they were like, we knew there was one of y'all out there. And they were like, they're joking. They were super cool dudes. Fabian's great, man. I did a panel with him. He's a super cool dude, man.
That's just sort of like, you know what I mean? They create these characters and they're waiting for that person to come up. When New Warriors first hit, you had characters that were sort of peripheral characters. You had, Night Thrasher. You had characters that almost seemed a little bit goofy, like Speedball. Yeah. And where New Warriors started and where they took New Warriors, the New Warriors are super integral to Marvel's Civil War. And that gets forgotten a lot when we talk about Marvel's first Civil War. You kind of go back and take a twist, turn left and right. You get to the doorstep of some of the New Warriors. And,
they were the inciting incident, right? Yeah. I mean,
Nitro
blew himself up outside of the school. And I love New Warriors. That book was like, what, 90, 91? I'm like 10, 11 years old. I was like the prime audience for that book. I thought they were the coolest. I thought they were the coolest. I never liked Speedball, but everybody else, Nova and Firestar and Justice and Rage, when he shows up, but Night Thrasher, I still got a big love for Night Thrasher, and I just don't think he gets the respect that he should. His first appearance, bro, he takes on the Juggernaut with nothing but a skateboard. It's great.
And again, New Warriors was a character where it was the first book where you saw Juggernaut could be more than just a weird X-Men villain breaking stuff down. Because if you look at some of those New Warriors appearances, the Juggernaut is in them. And you very much get to see Kane Marco a little bit. You fast forward to 2017, 2018, 2019, Juggernaut's in his own limited series, and you're seeing some really cool stuff.
Hey, do you know who wrote that Juggernaut series from a couple years ago?
Who?
Fabian Nicieza.
You could see that creators get an idea, right? In this case, he looks at the Juggernaut and he's like, hey, this can be more than just like a big dumb guy breaking through stuff. And he's right. He absolutely is. There's a period where Juggernaut had like a sidekick, and then Tom DeFalco had like the Juggernaut's son in one of the
J2
into whatever with J2.
Yeah, J2, man. I love that.
Fabian is another one of these guys that, you're starting to talk about, Hall of Fame, who goes into Marvel's Hall of Fame. That's a name I think that should pop up fairly quickly once you get to like 88, 90, 92, somewhere in there. A book I kind of saved a little bit for last is, this is Red Sonja. This is another one of these books I absolutely love.
Legendary Red
Sonja. I've talked about this before. Legendary is probably my favorite thing Dynamite has done. And it's tough. It's really tough for me because Dynamite has done some stuff I absolutely don't love. But Bill Willingham's Legendary really, really, really just connected with me. I've actually lost track of how many times I've reread this, quite honestly. This is one of these single color covers, crimson blood red cover, super appropriate for Red Sonja. This
Great
is
cover.
Pro exclusive.
Well, it would be $49.99 usually. Tonight it's going to be $19.74.
Wow.
74 cents.
So you said that Bill Willingham wrote the legendary Red Sonja book?
He did Legendary, which was the original series, and then they did one-shots for each of the primary characters.
Gabe will take Red Sonja. All right.
Nice. They had Legendary Red Sonja. I guess probably Legendary Vampirella was, I'm going to guess, maybe the most popular.
And that's like, they're like steampunky kind of versions of the characters.
It was very steampunky. We had the $6,000 man, which was kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And yes, I'm sure people will ask you to lead into our last book. There absolutely was a Legendary Green Hornet and Kato. To be honest with you, they were probably the least changed from Green Hornet and Kato, which shows me how that story works. It's basically a guy and his partner fighting crime. It doesn't matter if it's in the steampunk world. It doesn't matter if it's in the future. It doesn't matter if it's in the past. It doesn't matter if it's a black and white cover signed by Mark Waid, which Green Hornet #4 is. The Waid run is so good. I can't stress enough. This is absolutely one of those things where you should get the back issues for, get the trade for it if they have it.
I read some of that. I remember really liking the Mark Waid one because there was the Kevin Smith one that's like based on his movie, and I thought that one was just okay, but that one I really liked, and I'd like to go back and read it.
The Kevin Smith one started great and sort of lost its way with zombies and stuff like that, but I've already discussed that with the publisher.
Real quick, the Green Hornet book tonight, MSRP is $49.99. Tonight is going to be $19.36.
36. First year the Green Hornet appeared. Yeah. I'm surprised. I actually thought that was no longer available because John just decided to pick it up. That's what I thought.
You know what? I've released, next year's shows, we're going to start having stuff from the John collection because I think at some point people are probably going to want me to open up my boxes and let other people have some Green Hornet stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know what? When I first started collecting Green Hornet way back when, it was sort of a character that not everybody was into. I loved the TV show. When I was at that age where radio shows first began to have a little bit of a renaissance on cassette. And one of the first things they did with Shadow, and almost invariably with the Shadow cassette, would be Green Hornet story. And as cool as the Shadow is, I always dug the Green Hornet and Kato.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, since we have one more book, let's talk about it real quick, and then we'll spend our last 10 minutes just doing recaps.
Sure.
So our last book
I'm exhausted. You do it.
It's another Alex Ross.
Thanks.
It's the $6 Million Man, Season 6, number 3. And it's the Virgin Art edition. Always looks awesome. by the way. I think like some of the version covers are just my favorite because like nothing's obscuring it. It's just pure art. It's pure art. And
this is very much if you're a $6 Million Man fan, you're going to get this reference. This is very much a Damper 3 character cover.
And while it's usually 75, it's going to be one of our 5 stars at 50 tonight.
Nice.
Go back right here.
And the $6 Million Man is one of these things, sort of again, where we've gotten versions of the Bionic Woman, and we've gotten versions of this people are waiting for. This is based on a novel called Cyborg by a man named Martin Kaidan, I think is his name. And the rights to this thing have been kicked around and, batted around back and forth or whatever.
1 second, guys. I'm just fixing something.
Yeah. And I think that at some point, someone is going to look at this and think, we're at a point now where we've got, people getting implants for, nerves and this and that and optic things. I think.
If you guys need a close up. Nice. I don't know where the picture is, but yeah.
I love that cover.
Yeah,
the cover makes me think of
very sort of people who remember the opening of the show will know exactly what the scene is, where he's, he runs into technical problems and it's all downhill and then uphill from there. $6 Million Man is like one of my longtime favorites. I had Rex pull some stuff and we're going to try to get it in the show. If we don't get it in the show by now, we'll get it in the show in the beginning of the new year. Just great little collection of $6 Million Man stuff. I want to tell you the $6 Million row in one of the shows.
I apologize. I don't seem to have gotten a picture of that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
that means it's not for sale and it's mine.
I'll do one more quick close-up, and then we got 5 minutes left for the best offer item. So Statue and Miss Fury have 5 more minutes left for their best offers. So real quick, another close-up. Alex Ross, $6 Million Man. This is 5-star at 50.
It's a virgin cover, which is so perfect for this show.
Certificate of authenticity. Here we go. And then let's go back to the top.
I tell people all the time, these virgin covers disappear pretty quickly. Retailer incentives, however, chase books, however you want to think of them. These things disappear real quickly at an affordable price. And then they resurface. Everybody who's been to a con or a show knows these things have a tendency to resurface at a much, much, much higher price.
I like your shirt, by the way, Amy. That's a nice shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie. My favorite. So top of the list, quick reminder, the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, which we always have every show, just $5. Great for holiday season. If you want to make a gift, making a stocking stuffer, just a quick reminder that they are always available. We make sure 10 random books are in it, and they're all different each time. Our mega set's still available. Surprised no one's gotten it.
I'm surprised nobody's picked this up because maybe we haven't done a good enough job of describing this thing. Real quick, I'm going to go through this again. There is a 9/8 slabbed Detective Comics 1000 in here. There is a Ken Hazer Joker remark in here, which is just, man, this thing is killer. I mean,
that's worth $99 alone.
Yeah, this is worth $99 alone. We have Batman 48. This one has been signed by Tom King. He only signed 25 copies. This is Gold's signature series. This is number 3, a real nice low number. Batman The Signal, number 1 we have. This is signed by Scott Snyder. This is 14 of 140. Really, really cool cover. Nice job they did too. This is from the Metal storyline, which led obviously to much more stuff. And this is the sort of the slab is just so nice, man. The art here is
art by Jock on that one. It's really nice. I love that. The texture on his facial scruff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. I got my Scott's. I had it's right near hand. There's my one when I met Scott Snyder. There's one of the things I had signed.
Nice.
In that silver. I love it when it's in silver. So it's good stuff. His Justice League run was amazing.
Joel asked about the $6 Million Man. He'd probably be, if they do that book now, or it would probably be the $6 billion Man. Because to have that level of technology
It's like that joke in Austin Powers where he's like $1 million, and they're like, "What?
What?
That's all you want?"
$6 million isn't a whole lot of money. In Legendary, $6,000 was like the king's ransom.
You can't even make a movie for $6 million nowadays,
He
man.
would be the $37.5 million man.
Yeah, I mean, he was sort of.
I bet JD actually like looked that up, researched.
Did he Google it? Did he do this?
I'm just double checking the time, guys. We're on countdown. We're on countdown for our best offer item.
We are on countdown, and while we're doing the countdown, I want to throw a couple of shout outs here. First of all, I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight: Dave, Ron, Nilo, Marcus, Dwayne, on and on people who joined us.
Real quick, Joel, the detective deal, it's $99 for the whole set. You get the slab and you get the 3 books. One's a remark, 2 of them are signed. So
one's in gold signature series. That's probably the best value we have tonight for $99.
It's a $260 value for $99. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's $260 value for $99.
We're getting down to 30 seconds.
We're getting down
Red
to 30
Sonja.
seconds.
I like this countdown.
Number 6.
It's like blue and ethereal. I like that. I like that. We need some music.
Everybody who joins us, obviously. We want to thank Robbie for joining us. You should really be checking out his show if you want more facts and me just not goofing around with Rex all the time. Robbie adds a lot of context.
Joe will take the detective deal. All right, Joe.
Great job,
awesome.
Joe. 5,
Awesome.
4.
You're gonna
Get
enjoy
those
it, we
final
promise.
bids in. Joe, you're going to really like this.
And we're closed. So
we are done. Line ends.
Dwayne, you got Red Sonja for $120. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's a steal, man.
That really is a steal. It's
And then Nilo, you got Miss
70%
Fury for
off.
10. What a steal. That's a real
We got
really
people
big
tonight
steal. Congratulations, you guys.
In addition, you'll get free gifts because Nick is just apparently giving everything away now. Also, people are picking stuff up. Talking about the Christmas holiday, people are picking stuff up easily at 50, 60, 70% off. I don't know too many shows where they're offering stuff at that kind of a discount.
Who won the statue?
I might need a little bit of help here because Nilo kind of just came in like very dead last second. Now,
I think it was still Dwayne. I think Nilo came in right after this.
Okay.
This is
Thanks,
why
JD,
sniping
for helping me
doesn't
time
work, guys.
You know what I would like for Christmas, sir? What I'd like for Christmas, what I'd like for Christmas is a larger monitor so I can see people.
We actually have a larger monitor.
I know. I'm looking
When are we
forward
getting
to
out
that.
here then?
No, it's going in there.
It's going in there.
Shooting in there.
We're going
Thank
in
God.
there too. We're in the
Thank
new
God.
year. I don't think we're going to be out here. But I'll miss being interrupted by the takeout food people. That was my highlight of 2021.
Especially the delivery guy waiting for a tip.
Waiting for a tip. He got a Vampirella $50. That was his tip.
Sorry, Nilo. We will try to. We'll make sure we'll keep having cool statues. So
Hey,
Dwayne
this
is
is
still
$50.
yours.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna have to bid on one of these statues, man. They're going for ridiculous prices.
The statues.
Don't tempt me with another Vampirella, y'all. Don't tempt me.
I'll tell you right now. I have Betty Page at home, who's near and dear to my heart. And as much as I love Betty Page, in my mind, Betty Page is always in black and white. And I got the black and white statue. And I got to tell you that literally I love this thing. Sits in my cabinet with, the other statues. And all the statues are color. And she's dead center in all her black and white glory. And I got to tell you, I love that statue. These things are just killer.
How about for the next show, you guys? Let us know which statue you want to see. Do you want a Betty Page? Do you want a Vampirella?
Absolutely, yeah.
A Digidor? Let us know.
You got any Sheena? Any Sheena statues?
We do have Sheena.
We do have Sheena.
There's a new issue of Sheena out this week. Everybody needs to go pick it up from Dynamite Entertainment.
So we'll see. We'll see which statue gets on
Maybe
that show.
Wednesday.
But yeah, again, if you
If
guys
we
have a
have
preference, let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you. Who's it? JT is doing the. Who has a question?
Yay.
What's up, Dave?
I'm trying to find it.
Gabe was asking, I guess, how to pay, and yeah,
How
you
to
just
pay.
gotta-
So there's a link for the fill out form.
We have a link. I don't know. Is it JT or Kyle? I didn't catch who was doing the
JD.
There will be a link. Sometimes there's a QR code. You just click it, and the instructions are super simple. We just get your real name, your contact info, You know,
and
so
what you ordered,
so we know where to send your stuff and what, you know.
So we don't want anyone missing out on this cool stuff. So yeah. The link's right there for the fill out form. Yes, name, screen name, address.
Yeah, most people have a different screen name, so absolutely let us know
what you got.
Name. Yeah.
And yeah, like just let us know. We'll make sure you get your invoices, and that's as easy as that.
Thanks, everybody. There's no show without you guys. There really is not. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on Wednesday. I don't know if we're going to need Rex anymore, but maybe Rex will be back.
There's a good chance he'll be here.
And we'll see. Yeah, we'll talk off the air.
Please come, because Mariano's going to be here, and he's going to color the Deadpool
coloring
book.
His Deadpool remark, which is going to be.
I'm sure someone will get it. Like,
I'm sure someone.
I wonder if they'll do best offer for that.
Check out Robbie's show. Absolutely, check out Robbie's show. Robbie, thanks for joining us, bud.
Thank you, Robbie.
My pleasure.
Back here on Wednesday, new comic book day, more books. What came out that week? We're out of here, everybody. Have a great Monday night. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.